Denver Broncos Mile High View, the authority. Unfortunately, we are the authority on your Walmart Generals, formerly known as the Denver Broncos. So we're doing this video to kind of put some sense into a world full of bullshit. Basically, I want to put out a disclaimer real quick for people. I hear all these national paid for people out there saying that the Russell Wilson deal was the worst in NFL history, one of the worst in NFL history. And these same people that are now saying that because it's safe to do so, we were saying that this is not going to work out. We were the people that everybody said we didn't know what we were talking about. When that deal went down, we said it's not going to work. And we were the only people outside of Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen basically made that same sentiment. He said, this doesn't make any sense. Out of all three of us, with Bubble Man, four of us, we got it right when all those other people that get paid got it wrong. So if you're wondering, why do you want to listen to two guys in their parents' basement? We're just joking about that. We don't really live in our parents' basement, but essentially that's what the detractors think. How come it is that they are constantly right all the time? Because we don't have an agenda other than to call it like it is. That's our agenda. Call it like it is. So if you don't like Bucket Man here ranting and raving like a lunatic, cursing and everything else, and you prefer to be lied to, go and listen to a bunch of liars. We say it to you all the time. Go listen to a bunch of liars. They'll make you feel good. It's like Snow White sitting on Pinocchio's face. Lie to me, Pinocchio. Lie to me. Lie to me. If you want to be lied to, like Snow White sitting on Pinocchio's face, then do that. Do that. But so we're gonna talk about what the real GM for the Denver Broncos. The Broncos real GM versus the puppet GM, the guy that falls on the sword for all the crap the front office can't get straight. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what he said. We're going to talk about where this team is going for real, not the fake. We're going to talk about, are players not wanting to come to the Denver Broncos, or are they actually wanting? Okay, we're going to bust the myth of that. So let's get started with what the real GM said. The real GM is Penner. He's the owner playing the part of GM, but he's the real GM. Nobody, it seems, in the content creator world out there for the pay-for platforms, none of them want to mention the fact that Penner said, quote, there's going to be a quarterback competition. Quarterback! I want to say this too, just really quick, a little off topic, but on topic. When you go listen to your favorite content creator out there that likes to lie to you all the time, every time they mention a quarterback's name or the word quarterback, you should always have like a fifth of Jack Daniels next to you. So when they say quarterback, you can just take a shot. Take a shot. Every time they talk about the quarterback, take a shot. J.J. McCartney, take a shot. Russell Wilson, take a shot. It won't take you long, and you'll be drunk before the day's over. Because they can't talk about anything. They think they're talking about football because they talk about the quarterback the princess quarterback position nonstop. But that's not football. If you're just talking about the quarterback and you don't care about anything else, you just care about falling in love with, like a girl at high school falling in love with the boy at school. So we don't cater to guys that want to fall in love with other guys at high school. The quarterback. Every position we put in perspective. Okay, is it the most important? Well, they're all important because We've seen, the NFL trash a lot of guys coming out of college over and over and over again because the team is ill prepared to either fit the guy in. But the teams that seem to have the success, whether it's through free agency or the draft, are the teams that build the team build the organization, the team from the ground up correctly. Like we were just talking about Washington Redskins and what they've been doing. They're not mishmashing like the Denver Broncos. And we're going to talk about the Denver Broncos and how they are like scraping the barrel here, just trying to get people to come here. And, but that's not really what's happening yet. That's what's happening. So anyway, we hear there's going to be a quarterback competition. Obviously, Sam Darnold didn't want to come here. Whoever else didn't want to come here. So they have no those free agents. So what they're going to have to, if they're going to have the quarterback, have that quarterback competition. It sounds to me like they want to draft a quarterback. Is that what you're getting?
Yes, that's the sentiment I am getting right now.
Okay, so take it away, Bucket Man. Start cussing and yelling and screaming.
So
get it over with.
I know. You can't listen to Coach Bucket Man who actually knows his shit. But those people aren't my target audience. I don't really give a shit about the people that go, no, you're uneducated. You don't know about the game of football yet. I'm a linebackers coach, and
I'm sorry I have to stop you. Why is our track record impeccable if we don't know anything? Why is it that when everybody said it's 3 to 5 Super Bowls minimum with Russell Wilson, we said it cannot happen. We said it turned out to be one of the worst. As we said, it couldn't work. It didn't work. How is it that 3 guys, if you could count Bubble Man, supposedly living in their parents' basement, can seem to consistently get this right? Last year, Sean Payton was playoffs, right? Playoffs. You had Sean Payton and you had Russell Wilson. What could possibly go wrong? And we said everything. We said it's like oil and vinegar coming together. But you guys don't know what you're talking about. And yet we were right again. And it's like, you want to be lied to, go and listen. They'll make you feel good, all the liars.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Chopped Liver, I don't expect anything more from these people, nor do I expect anything less, because you know what? At the end of the day, they are going to, they always take our talking points as well. That's one thing I've noticed.
They are now.
You and I were listening. I had you on the phone yesterday, and I had you on speaker, and we're listening to James Marilat, and, you were telling me, and I was thinking the same thing as you were telling me this. He's saying the stuff we've been saying for 8 years now.
This quarterback.
yeah, this quarterback. I wonder where you got that. From, James Marilat. So, again, I do these film breakdowns, and I just want to talk about this real quick, and I'll get into what you said about the real GM stuff. I do these film breakdowns on all these free agent signings that the Broncos have signed. And I get these commenters on there, these people that, I believe are more Dove Valley shills and Walmart General fans more than anything. But I get these people, and the defense for Josh Reynolds, there's not a lot of defense for Cody Barton because that's been exposed really horrific. I mean, my God, that signing is really bad.
Well, if you look at the front office, that's what we got to talk about too. Because we're going to get into.
Yeah,
it was asked about, can Sean Payton build okay, but anyway, go back.
But I'm the only person out there, and then I have these people on X, Twitter, whatever it is, cherry picking plays to try. And I also want to talk about this Nick Burrito bullshit too. I mean, my God, but we'll get into that in just a minute. But specifically talking about the film breakdowns that I provide to the public, and I don't get a single dime or I get paid for this shit. And the defense for these players, man, it's just like, do you guys watch the film breakdowns I provide you? Because I don't cherry pick plays. I show you series after series after series after series of these players. And I also talk about their strengths and weaknesses and on how they fit a certain system or how they play, so on and so forth. And the only thing that I could come up with is there's only one signing that I like so far throughout this entire offseason, and that's the video where I get all this hate, all the fucking bullshit, and that's the Calvin Throck. I know, right? Yeah. I know, right? But none of them are being like, oh, wow, this guy's actually pretty good. He's technically sound in some aspects of his game. And I bring up Calvin Throckmorton, and immediately they talk about the Josh Reynolds signing. Where did I ever compare Calvin Throckmorton to Josh Reynolds? Did that ever come up in my video? No. I said in the Josh Reynolds video that everybody likes to say, and I have these fans saying that, oh, he was about to sign on the dotted line with the Ravens. No, there's no proof of that whatsoever. Josh Reynolds is a byproduct of the John Elway-led front office that's still in that organization. A la Patrick Walsh, all those scouts up there, the pro personnel.
Stark and all. Hey, I just want to say that the reason we believe what this center / guard, we call it center. I mean, people are saying, yeah, he should be put there, but you were saying it first of all, but you were the first person to say it. But anyway, we believe strongly based on what we know, how the front office that's still intact for the same 7 years have been up there, 8 years, 9 years, same people up there. And the players that they picked, that this pick with this guard / center is strictly a Payton, the offensive line coach, and the Payton guy up in the scouting, up in the front office. This is his, and it's my theory here, my theory. The reason it got so much hate is from the other people, because it is the good pick, and we know who's picking that player. We know who would never pick that player, and this kind of dovetails us into what Mark Schlereth is trying to bullshit the audience, saying Sean Payton can develop a football team. Well, we have talked about Sean Payton, first of all, and his time in St. Louis, in New Orleans, where Mickey Loomis and the owner had to put a leash on him because he kept drafting all these offensive toys, and their defense went down the tubes. And then Mickey Loomis went and built the defense up through the draft, through the scouting department, the draft, and then that's where Mark Schlereth starts talking. But nobody wants to talk about the history of any of this stuff. The question was, can Sean Payton build a team for the Denver Broncos? And we say that is also impossible because, and I'm going to go into, it's probably what the guy that went over to Harbaugh. It's probably what Harbaugh, the negotiations that were going on, broke down. Harbaugh wasn't going to sit there and say, I'm not going to be dictated to by that front office if you don't get rid of them. I am not coming. Sean Payton, on the other hand, who ran away from New Orleans because of salary cap hell and player personnel, this and that, and the third, only to come to another hellish situation, but he was bribed. So he doesn't have to build anything because at the end of the day, he'll do what he does best. He'll walk. He'll do the best he can. I'm not saying he won't try, but he's not going to be able to do any of it on his own because he's what, like I said, what Harbaugh was trying to say, he's got an albatross around his neck. And we saw the players that, I don't want to talk about Josh Reynolds. That's definitely a front office deal. There is no way that the Baltimore Ravens were going to pay him how much, 10, 14, or what was it? The 14 million or something, was it?
Roughly around there, yes.
And there was and you've said this over and over and over and over in your film study, there was no reason for the Broncos to give that, to bring him in, only to prove they could. See, he wants to come. Oh, you wouldn't have came if they didn't pay him. Ravens weren't going to pay him. They're not stupid like that. Only that front office is stupid enough to do that. You said you got Humphrey, a little Jordan Humphrey, right?
Yeah. Who I'm a big fan of.
Who can do all the same stuff. Plus, he's a bigger body and he doesn't drop the ball.
And he's a better blocker.
So you already had somebody, but that is right on course because they'll probably drum him out of town and he'll go somewhere and succeed. and you'll be stuck with Reynolds because you got a front office that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. That's why our track record is right all the time. We know stupidity when we see stupidity. And then people come on your message board or your comment section with the dumbest stuff.
It is. It's really stupid stuff. I mean, honestly, to be perfectly honest, I don't understand the thinking with some fans, and they're the Walmart Journal fans, so it really doesn't surprise me when they
chip off the old front office block.
Yeah, try to defend these moves. But again,
like they do every year.
Every fucking year, you guys say the shit during the off season. And
where's the 3 to 5 Super Bowls that promised us?
Super Bowls. I mean, this is 8 off seasons in a row I've dealt with you people, and you guys have always been wrong. So
they get dumber. They get dumber each season.
And the thinking here, I don't and again, I don't see this. This is another point I want to bring up, and this goes directly to the film breakdown point. I want to talk about Nick Burrito real quick, okay?
Okay.
I want to segue into that, and then I want to segue back into the GM.
Okay, I want to comment too about Nick Burrito, but go ahead.
So what I'll do first before I can get into Nick Burrito is you address the Greg Penner GM thing, and I want to address that. There is no way in hell that I don't believe the Broncos are going to come out of this draft with a quarterback. They are going to come out in this draft with the quarterback, folks. It's either they're going to take it at 12 or they're going to give up the farm to trade up for the quarterback at 4, at 2, whatever it is. They are going to make a move for a quarterback because Greg Penner said it. He put it in motion at the owners' meeting saying that there's going to be a quarterback competition, a la Trevor Siemian and Paxton Lynch.
Well, you say that.
I said it.
I don't agree. I disagree with that. I disagree with the Siemian, and on the surface, it'll have a membrane that looks like that, but it'll be more like the Bridgewater lock where it's already determined. It's already Stimmin is God damn it, what's his name?
Jared Stidham.
Stidham. Stidham is not going to win anything. It's going to be predetermined. Their first round draft is going to be thrown in there. It's going to be like Bridgewater and Locke all over again.
Yep.
It'll have the outside appearance of.
It'll have. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, I agree.
But the inside, it's really.
It's going to be a big old clusterfuck. I mean, dude. We just got done listening to a content creator saying that, they're going to give up their 2025, 2026 first round pick. You're going to have to give up more than that, buddy.
Yeah.
You're going to have, and I guarantee you the Cardinals or the Commanders, if they want to trade back, I don't think they will, but if they want to, they will absolutely fleece the Denver Broncos.
In February, we said fleece them.
And I cannot wait because I have draft night off and I am going to be sitting back, eating my popcorn, ready for the sparks to fly.
Ready for the fleece. Ready for the
fleece. Ready for the Broncos to trade up at 2, 4, or stay pat at
12. It'll all be George Payton. It'll all be Sean Payton. It won't have nothing to do with that front office.
So
be Sean Payton.
This is what I'm talking about. When we talk about rebuilding, and you brought up Jim Harbaugh over with the Chargers, who really didn't have an active offseason. They kind of just made some moves here and there, but they're really going to be focusing on the draft and player development. And again, that's what Harbaugh was trying to say to this ownership group. And this ownership group is so inept; they don't know what they're doing, and they wanted to tie their hit to this John Elway-led front office and this John Elway-led content-creating bullshit that he created. It's a big old clusterfuck, and it really doesn't surprise me that we have these these supposed, Mark Schlereth and Locked On Broncos and all these idiots out there saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to go get our quarterback. We're going to do this. Sean Payton knows how to rebuild." Are you kidding me? When Sean Payton was getting all these toys, they were going 8 and 9, 7 and 10 every year, and that's what the Broncos are striving for.
Yeah, striving
8 and 9, 7 and 10. And you know what? When Mickey Loomis and Jeff Ireland were able to sit.
Well, that's what Walmart generals are
Yeah. When Jeff Ireland and Mickey Loomis were able to sit Sean Payton down and be like, hey, you know what? We're going in a different direction. We're going to build in the trenches. We're going to build from the inside out. Look what happened. They were getting the NFC Championship games. They were getting close to the Super Bowl. I want Jeff Ireland, Mickey Loomis style. I don't want this fucking Josh Reynolds, Cody.
You
Barton.
will not get it.
I know, and that's the sad part. That is
you will not get that until
part.
They have cleared out that front office. You have to, in its place, bring in people with that fundamental understanding.
You know what? We continue to talk about the front office, but this is where I point the finger at the ownership. They need to get their shit together.
Oh no, yeah.
They need to get their shit together. You're right. Clear out that front office. But ownership group, Raw Bolton, you talk about all this stuff about, we're going to get new jerseys here on April 22nd. Like, is that what you are striving for, is fucking shit off the field rather than the product on the field? Because
I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that. And this goes right to Nick Burrito. You have such incompetence at that front office and that ownership that you have to pay somebody. I was thinking, what teams, the Giants, Jacksonville,
Panthers,
teams that aren't doing
Carolina.
I'm trying to think what teams that aren't doing all that great out there. The Jets, even
Chicago.
Do any of these teams ownership, their front office, are they paying content creators to float out total BS that a guy of Nick Burrito's stature on the team is going to be the next Aaron Donald, Chris Jones? Is anybody doing that level of nonsense? If you think that Nick Burrito,
this team is,
yeah, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to spend that energy doing the things needed to do, so you don't have to say this nonsense. No, they're going to keep doing. What are they going to do in this draft? They're going to keep getting Nick Burritos, Josie Jules, maybe a Surtain, if they're even lucky, right?
A Damari Mathis.
A Damari Mathis, yes. A Turner Yell, a Dulcich.
A Riley Moss.
A Dulcich. Those, because let's just be honest with you. The people that are up there with player personnel is the John Elway led front office that the ownership couldn't get rid of. So they're so broken. They are so broken that they have to pay content creators to tell you that Nick Burrito is going to have a 12-sack season.
And while they are cherry picking plays from a Commanders game where Sam Howell had the best game of the year was against that defense.
Picked it apart.
And that constitutes
the run defense. It's not the pass defense. It's the run defense.
And that constitutes to great play on. I don't get it, man. And then
it's called ineptitude. It's called ineptitude.
It's such ineptitude. I said Nick Burrito was a draft bust. He sucks. He does good when he's not being fucking pass protected by a left tackle or a right tackle. He sucks. The guy sucks, man. And then I have these Walmart General fans that are trying to defend him. Oh, look at that pass rushing rate. The fuck is a pass rushing rate?
That's the problem. Games? That's a league-wide problem right there. They got a whole floor in an opera
focus bullshit.
Well, yeah, looking at stats, not film. Looking at stats, not film. You're really good, but I don't see what you're saying. Then go back to the stat room where you belong. Go back to the stat room. Now I got to get into Nick Burrito. Okay. If we were going to have a Nick Burrito session, this is what, in all honesty, throwing out our opinions and just all honesty, you picked a guy that has some speed. He if he's blocked at all, whether it's a tight end or an offensive lineman, he is going to evaporate. He is going to evaporate. 9 out of 10. Maybe you'll get one lucky, escaping, maybe a pressure or something. One lucky one out of 10. What you have to do with Nick Burrito, with a guy like that, you drafted this guy.
God.
You have to bounce him around and put him where he's going to be unblocked, and try to use his speed to come off and at least get a hurry at, bar minimum. That's the best you can do with a guy like that.
Well, I did a film breakdown on Nick Burrito coming out of college. It's on this channel. Okay, go find it. It's on the channel. What did I say coming out of that? How did Oklahoma use him? They were roaming him left or right. They had him in the middle. They had him on the side. And Vance Joseph started doing that. He started doing it. Where do you think he got that from? By looking at Pro Football Stats or watching the film?
He watched Oklahoma.
He probably watched the Oklahoma Sooner film, the All-22, and he's like, oh, you know what? It's best if we continue to have him roaming before the play, then he goes. So he's not
roaming. You got it. You see, being a defensive player myself, coaching it, a guy like that, you would have to rotate him depending on the offensive formations.
Yes.
That gives him the best chance not to be blocked.
Yes.
That's
what Oklahoma used him in that 3-3-5 that they ran.
So this for me, if you're gonna how has he been in special teams? Non-existent?
I don't hear from him.
Yeah, so to me,
he's
the
a
only
limited
thing that
player.
makes sense if you drafted the guy, would use his speed in special teams, and hopefully you could contribute off and on, as you said, that roaming.
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, if you were to draft,
why
you would draft him?
I like that. You know what's so funny? We drafted him over Travis fucking Jones.
I know. I know. You don't have to do all that bullshit with it. It's just
a second round pick on a guy like that.
Travis Jones.
Yeah. I don't know shit. I just yell at the camera.
And he had didn't he through the playoffs have a big
he had an impact. He had an impact.
Yeah. How many impact players do the Walmart Generals have?
None.
And what impact? And when we
the Nuggets, the Avalanche, and the Colorado Buffs have more impact players than the Broncos do.
Who was saying that? Some other
James Marilat.
Yeah, finally somebody's admitting it.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
No, well, it does, but if you're lied to all the time.
If you're being paid to lie.
Yeah, if you're lied to all the time, I guess you can't figure it out. So
Patrick Surtain's an impact player.
Yeah. What? Where?
Who?
The guy that gets burned in the middle. Yeah. Anyway,
who gets beat underneath all the time? Yeah, that guy. Oh man,
yeah. Who gets picked on? I mean, we did a whole year of film, and it's 80%, 75 to 80% of the plays are all on his side of the field and Justin Simmons' side of the field.
Yeah, just go get. You know what, Chopped Liver? Just go get your tissues. Just go get your tissues.
And you know what? It's going to continue. It's going to continue next year.
Yes, it will.
With their new safety, that's just a carbon copy of.
The Broncos are going to re-sign him according to Broncos Avenue.
Well, of course. Well, nobody wants him. So that was another thing we supposedly didn't know anything about.
I mean, do I have a Justin Simmons jersey behind me at all? Is that?
Well, what did we say? What did we say? We said that if he's going to demand all that money, nobody's going to want him.
He sucks.
They'll pay him league minimum to come in, sure, or whatever.
I don't think teams would even pay him the league minimum. I'd be shocked.
I think that's true. I mean, he didn't. Nobody wanted him.
He sucks. He sucks. The film doesn't lie, folks. I tried telling you, he sucks.
You can have all your sports writers and your PFF, but the film, nobody's going to pay him. Well, they wanted him to go on a playoff team. No playoff team needs him.
No playoff team wants him.
Because they are a playoff team, they wouldn't want him.
Without him.
Yes. You just can't.
My God, man.
You can't make it up. So anyway, that was the Nick Burrito spiel of.
Well,
the delusion of
It blows my mind. I just don't understand it. I don't. these people use these stats. They use these, pro football focus analytical bullshit. And
Well, this goes back to Mark Twain back in the 19th century. You got lies, damn lies, and you got statistics. So this statistic lie bullshit's been going on for a century and a half. So if not more. So it's, it makes you feel good. You can, talk stats all day and quarterbacks, and you never talked one iota of football in the real terms. Yeah. So the question was, can Sean Payton build? Is he allowed to build a team? How in the world is he going to build a team when you got a front office supplying you full of Nick burritos? What's that linebacker that they got? What's his name again? That sucks.
Cody Barton.
They'll give you. How in the world are they going to do it with the player? And then they're going to go draft what? Go get a quarterback that they're going to kill. Let's just face it. They'll get him killed.
9 years of 9 years of this shit. 9.
Maybe the only glimmer of hope is maybe with the 3 guys you got, you may be able to eke out a feel good season. Your 8 wins, maybe you eke one more out, a 9 win. Now you're just a couple seasons away from the Super Bowl. Here, I'll hand you the Fisher. I'll give you the Fisher. You can oh my God, we got the Fisher. We won the Fisher. It's the trophy for the most underachieving overachievers, okay? Or the most overachieving underachievers. Basically, as the Jeff Fisher mustache, you got your 9 wins, you're feel good, you're one and done. And you just won your Super Bowl. That is the Walmart General Super Bowl. Just give me that 9 wins, baby. Just 9 wins and make me think that I'm really going somewhere. So maybe with that defense, I don't know who they're going to stop. Nobody. Like they have for the last 3-4 years, they haven't been able to stop anybody.
The defense is atrocious. I'm tired. Here's the thing, Chot's liver. I keep hearing from these content creators in the front office, well, we're signing very solid depth pieces on the team. You don't have fucking shit. Your depth sucks. No. Your depth sucks. You think going out and signing Sam Mustipher is going to be an upgrade over fucking... I sit there and I watch the film on the players at the Broncos and I that they bring
just in guys.
They suck. Malcolm Roach looks like a guy that evaporates when he's blocked, per fucking usual Nick Burrito. Cody Barton is a 4-3 off-ball linebacker, and you're gonna play him next to Alex Singleton? Are you fucking kidding
another
me?
4-3 linebacker?
You have Brandon Jones, the safety, who the only good trait that he has is makeup speed. That's it. His tackling sucks. His coverage sucks. His instincts suck. The only good trait that he has is makeup speed that he has over Justin Tony Lily Simmons, who's still a free agent and who still sucks, okay? You also bring in Sam Mustipher, who, again, what did I say in the film breakdown? The guy's situational awareness, and as a center, you need to have elite situational awareness. His situational awareness fucking sucks. Calvin Throckmorton, on the other hand, the only good signing that I like this offseason, and you even have a Saint source down there in New Orleans who said this guy's very good. He's a good player.
We were told by our Saint source that he's a good backup. Backup.
Well, you know what? The Broncos need all the help they can get on their offensive line. So Throckmorton is the best we have. Could you imagine having Ben Powers, Throckmorton, and Miners as your interior? Holy shit!
That's what I was saying. I said the glimmer of hope is if they have the common sense, put that guy at center. You got 3. I know.
I'm getting ahead of it. They don't have the common sense.
You can't trust it. They'll probably sit on the bench, and he'll probably be gone.
Yep. They don't have the common sense. They'll probably cut him. They'll probably cut him for Sam Mustipher, dude.
Yeah, Humphreys will probably be gone, and then you keep your Josh Reynolds, drops-a-duty Reynolds.
Who's a good route runner, according to these Walmart General fans.
But they can't show you the film of that.
No. Every time I ask them to show me the film, they're like, this is the same thing with the Baron Browning thing that I got into it on your Commanders channel, where he's saying, well, I talked to Ohio State fans. The fuck do I need to talk to fans for when I have the all-22 film in front of me when I am providing that to you?
Show me
you can go fuck yourself.
I don't believe it. I don't believe he talked to fans.
No, time out. I'm sick of those fucking people. You know what? You want to see the real Bucket Man come out? You can go fuck yourself.
I don't believe he talked to any fan because the fans know.
Fuck yourself, dude.
The fans know where he was.
He's an off-ball linebacker.
They knew he was. He hasn't talked to any fan.
I am telling you, don't give me this fucking shit when you don't have the fucking film to back it up. When you're sitting there and telling me that Baron Browning is a better edge player than he was inside linebacker.
So let's talk about edges now.
Oh
Baron Browning and Nick Burrito, 12 sacks. Wait a second. So you're telling me how great they are, but yet the Broncos are going to still want to go out and get more edge pieces, right?
Oh,
because they did such a great job so far.
Yeah, go the pre-draft. Go ahead.
Moving an inside linebacker to the edge, which why you would do that is anybody's guess.
No interior pass rush to speak of.
Then you get 4-3 guys in your 3-4 system, which doesn't make any sense because your front office has the guy up there, Walsh, who doesn't know his ass from the hole in the ground. Getting these guys, putting them on the field, and you're still going after edge people. So, Sean Payton is not going to be able to build this team because nobody up there knows what they're doing.
He is going to walk in a year or two. He's going to retire again in a year or two. That is my prediction.
That's what we're going to put that out now too. He will not get fired. He will walk.
He's going to walk, folks. He's going to walk. And there's no doubt. He came here for the money. He came here for the retirement money because the Saints didn't want to give him all the money he was asking for, and that's why he retired. It wasn't because the Saints were in salary cap hell. The Broncos are worse than the Saints are in salary cap and dead cap hits.
Yeah, dead cap. Yeah, so
don't give me that fucking shit.
Yeah. So we got that right too. That it was a bribe from the very beginning.
It was. That's all. No, you know what? That was all Bubble Man. That was all Bubble Man.
Well, what? Well, no, I said it first. I even said it before he did. But it's on the channel. I actually said it before he did. But Bubble Man backed it up. But Jim, or at least Harbaugh, wasn't going to sell out. At least he would not. He would not sell out, and I think that
you would leave. You would leave. Time out. Let me ask you a question, Chotzler. You were you were going to get into it. Would you leave Michigan's system for the Broncos system? Are you fucking kidding me? You think he would have left 8-9 years of being at Michigan, being a title contender, and building that team from the ground up to come to this shithole? Are you kidding? Yeah.
Well, he's not going to play in there. He's not going to play. He's not going to play. He's not going to play in the front office's sandbox.
Exactly. Well, he goes to the Chargers. Dude, the Chargers have cleared out that front office, and they've brought over Ravens people in that front office. They have an identity of what they want to do. Well, they got Greg Roman, who sucks as an offense coordinator. They're going to run the hell out of the football, folks. They're going to have an identity.
Who they were complaining about last year about the Saints' offensive play calling. Who did the Broncos bring in?
Oh, yeah, Carmichael, his name. Yeah, Broncos go and sign him as an offensive fucking analyst or whatever.
Yeah. So, you can't sit there and laugh at anybody until you get this problem here fixed.
Yeah. You can't talk shit to anybody until you get the problem fixed here. And
what I see in the long run, I can see the Chargers shedding that feel good, Jeff Fisher identity.
It's going to take them, but if they're patient and they stick to an identity of what they want to do, they'll be just fine. And I have full faith. I have full fucking faith in Harbaugh in that front office that he's tied hit to hip with.
Over the long haul.
In this front office.
Over the long haul. Now,
yes.
I think eventually what's going to happen is to me, what keeps the Chiefs going is Andy Reid. It's not the quarterback.
I would say that front office as well.
Yeah, but that front office is an Andy Reid, isn't it? Confection, isn't it?
Well, they've built that front offense since he got there 12, 13 years ago.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't they both go hand in hand, though?
go hand in hand, and they have a really good front office. I like the way I like their front office a lot. I think they're very,
yes, and I've taken note of it long before Mahomes ever
did.
got there.
Yep, you did.
About how they draft and they develop,
Yep.
Draft, and that's what Harbaugh. You're going to be competing with. And that's why the Broncos can't. And I think the Raiders are trying to do that, but the problem is they've got an Al Davis son up there.
They do.
Who meddles.
But I do like their head coach.
Well, we'll see what he can do. And we'll see.
Head coach. He runs
what
the
he
hell
can do in Al Davis Jr.'s sandbox. Okay.
We'll see what happens.
So that's going against them, but this is total. I think what Harbaugh is trying to say too. We're going to do we're going to be the opposite of them.
Yeah.
And we'll have success because
the Chargers got rid of their top 2 receivers that were making a lot of money and they were hurt. And Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they cut them straight up. You know who I think they'll cut too if he doesn't produce? Herbert.
Is Herbert. Herbert will go. We could even say it here. I wouldn't even be surprised if he comes over here one of these days. I could just see that too. Herbert getting cut, and but I don't think Harbaugh's worried about it because let him do what he has to do. We'll build the team up. We'll build the team around a quarterback, and if we have to get rid of him, we'll get rid of him. So they could always do like what San Francisco did, right? With Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Just bringing up Brock Purdy.
I think what you're going to get in this draft, if the Broncos are going to trade up, you're going to get San Francisco trying to trade up for Trey Lance when they drafted Trey Lance. It's going to be
yes, and I think it's going to be a bigger fleece if they go up to Arizona for that.
Great.
Oh, it'd be perfect. It'd be just right.
You know what? All these people that they're hanging their hat on are these new uniforms. I mean, they don't give a fuck about the product on the field. Let's just be honest here. They don't give a fuck about the product on the field. They don't give a fuck about the film.
No, they just want social media hits.
Yeah,
pay for those.
They just want that content. That's all they give a fuck about.
Yep, pay for that.
They don't want to take a step back and look at the film and go through hours upon film like we do here at.
Pay for content. Pay for the views. Pay for the subs. Pay for all that.
Yep.
Pay for it all. Get it all out there and pay for it.
Yep. Again, this is exactly why I don't like engaging with
the advertising. Think about the money they get off the advertisements for that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't get money for shit. We get shadow banned or our videos get suppressed.
We're the most accurate Broncos channel.
We're the most feared Broncos channel out there. Let's just call it like it is.
Well, yeah, they fear the truth. The truth hurts.
They hate that shit, dude. When Dove Valley, when they see we put out a film breakdown, or when we put out a film breakdown or we do a video, they hate that shit. They hate it.
It's just like Chef Ramsay would tell these owners, you should embrace the criticism and learn from it. But it comes down to what you said.
I hate being right all the time.
Do they even care? No.
No, they don't. They have all that money. They have that Walmart money. They don't give a shit.
No, or they would have got. I think they would have got rid of that.
Just like the commenter said a couple videos ago. This is all a toy to them. They don't give a fuck about it. It's just a toy.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Just another investment in a portfolio.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, I don't want to do this draft. I don't.
So anyway, yeah, I see the possibility of them moving up. I can't see themselves restraining themselves. It's hard for me to see them.
Themselves, dude. They cannot help themselves.
Unless of course a team like Minnesota jumps ahead of them and they can't do anything. They're blocked.
No, I think the Broncos do everything they can to trade up in the top 5. I think they'll try. Yeah, even though you may not see it. They'll try. They'll try. Yeah, because they're definitely the Penner they're
said
desperate as hell. They are flying at the seat of their pants right now. Okay, they're desperate as fuck. Okay, because Sam Darnold said no. Sam Darnold went to Minnesota rather than come to the Broncos. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. All these players that are, you remember that thing when we got Russell Wilson, how, players were going to flock to Denver? Like Peyton Manning when he came to Denver?
Yeah, I said that's not going to happen because it didn't happen in Seattle.
No, it did not.
It didn't happen in Seattle. I think Elway thought that.
The front office thought that.
Yeah, because they're stupid.
Nobody wants to come here. Nobody wants to come here unless you pay them the fucking truckload, a la Josh Reynolds.
Well, Josh Reynolds, yes.
It's the fraction of the price, dude. You had a guy that was on a cheaper contract in Lil Jordan Humphrey, who's the same exact fucking player.
I think he's better. I personally think he's better.
Yes. He has more size. He's 6'5", 200 and something. This guy, Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Okay, let's break this down. Remember what on what's his face Locked On Broncos when he had his own. Who's that? What's his face?
I forgot his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he brought the Bronco in and said, they have players that are really good and they don't care about him, and they have these darlings that can't do shit. And
ring a bell, folks.
Well, who? Yeah, Justin Simmons. Yeah, get rid of T.J. Ward. So that's what you have with Reynolds now. That's the whole Reynolds thing. Screw you, little Jordan Humphrey. Fuck you, Jordan Humphrey. Fuck you, Jordan Humphrey. We're going to bring in Reynolds, somebody who's not as good as you, and overpay him because nobody around the league is going to pay him that much money. But the Broncos, just so they can say with their little, that he didn't want to go to the Ravens. That he didn't want to go.
Why didn't Detroit re-sign him?
Yeah, well, let's start with that. Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't the Lions re-sign him, who is a much better organization right now than the Broncos are? Well, let's just call it like it is. The Lions right now, in today's current climate of the NFL, they're a much better franchise right now, currently constructed, than the Walmart Generals are. I'm going to call it like it is.
It's them. It's what the Chiefs are doing, what the Chargers are going to start doing.
Eagles are doing.
The Eagles are going to be doing it.
The Rams
have been doing it. The Rams. There's going to be these staple teams that do this right, and then you're going to get
Pittsburgh, all the above.
Yeah. So let's talk about you were talking about Commanders a while ago. We had started a Commanders channel because we like Adam Peters. We wanted to see, and then all of a sudden, who came in was Magic Johnson. Tap tap tap. But they showed some restraint that they're not going to do what this front office Broncos with the mishmashing. What kind of an off season or a free agency have they had? Has it been?
Well, I mean, they got rid of Cody Barton first and foremost. They didn't re-sign him, so that's a plus. But they've brought in players that are 4-3 guys. Player personnel in the defense.
So they're not bringing 3-4 mishmashing?
No, all 4-3 guys. Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner's a 4-3 guy who came from Seattle. They brought 4-3 defensive linemen. On the offensive side, they've brought in players that fit the Cliff Kingsbury system. But they'll probably draft a quarterback at 2. I kind of wish they would trade back and continue to build that team, but they'll probably draft
a Surtain out of that. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. But the Commanders, the one thing that I can say about the Commanders is they've stuck to not doing what the Broncos have done, which is going out and mismeshing players into systems. They've stuck to an identity, which I knew Dan Quinn was going to do anyway, because Dan Quinn.
At Kingsbury, they're trying to look at players that fit.
Yep.
And not mismeshing in that either. So I would assume they would need offensive linemen.
I'm not the biggest Cliff Kingsbury fan, but the one thing I will say about that is they're getting players that fit what he wants to run offensively. That's all I can say to that. I don't like the Cliff Kingsbury guy. I think he's a terrible play caller. I think he sucks.
Yeah, I would like to see the Broncos do better on the offensive line. They got one guy, but like you said, is he going to end up on the bench?
The one thing I will say about that, I think the tackles suck, but man, you have something. You could capitalize on the opportunity that's presented. You put Ben Powers, you have Calvin Throckmorton at center, and you have Quinn Miners at the right guard, that's a solid interior offensive line.
Well, and
that's
why do you need, in a Sean Payton system, why do you need a solid interior like that?
Because you're going to be running the multi-power run system that's very physical up front.
Okay, so you're going to be running, but on your quarterback, when he goes to the next level,
you need to have that interior. That's what New Orleans ran when they had Drew Brees. They had Andrew Pete, they had Eric McCoy, and they had CZ Reese at the right guard position. Those were stone walls on the interior.
Okay, so what did Brees do in the pocket when he needed a little time? He needed to go off schedule. What is off schedule for a pocket quarterback? I've said this before. What is off schedule for when you're off schedule as a pocket quarterback? You step up, you step up, you step up. That's your off schedule. Step up. You know, and against the against the Broncos defense, other teams, what do?
Step up into the pocket.
They step up because this team does not. This
and
front
that's
office.
On the offensive side with the Broncos, you have Powers, Throckmorton, and Miners at your interior. You're going to be able to step up into the pocket. So this is what I mean. You have two shitty edge tackles with Garrett Bowles and Mike Flinchie who both fucking suck, who look like the next great tag team for WWE. You could step up into the pocket and you have stone walls on your interior with Powers, Throckmorton, and Miners. That's what I'm saying. You have a potential there. But if you're going to have Powers, Sam Mustafer, Alex Forsythe, and Miners, that's going to fucking suck.
Yeah, good luck with that. I hope Streif is
Hey, Zach Streif, put Throckmorton at center, dude. Please.
Yeah.
You have something there. He has the prototypical size that you want at center. He's very good technically in his sets. He's a very good player. Yeah, he's going to get beat he's going to get beat. But you know what? He doesn't get beat consistently like we've seen with fucking Lloyd Cushenberry.
And what you're going to have to see now, I was watching film with the last games with Stidham. And what they got to get away from is that Shermer ball stuff. I don't mind taking a hit.
They won't.
I know. And I can understand if you're running Sean Payton football and then once in a while go wide and see if you can throw something deep. Fine. When it's the right time to do it. But what I saw is Sean, you get to run yours this many plays. We at the front office get to run our Shermer ball this many plays.
Yeah, that's a successful recipe to winning Super Bowls right there.
So, and also, why the fuck do you need so many offensive cooks in the kitchen? You know, what about these other teams? Does Andy Reid have a bunch of
no?
L.A. Chargers? What about the L.A. Rams? Do they?
No.
Philadelphia?
No.
Yeah. Why is it that we're surrounded by a bunch of cooks in the kitchen here? So I don't have a whole lot of faith with even making it to the Fisher. I don't even think they can strive and get a Fisher. You know, a Fisher trophy. I don't even think they can get a Fisher trophy. I don't think they're going to be good enough to get a Fisher.
Nope, they won't.
I know they would like to get a Fisher.
Oh my God.
So we're very skeptical here.
And I don't give a fuck.
And can Sean Payton build a team? No, because he can't do what Harbaugh wanted to do: get away from that circus show up at the front office, and bring in people who not only know how to bring in no Nick Burrito nonsense, but stick with an identity and stay with it. What the Redskins or the Commander, whatever they want to call themselves now. What they're doing, they're actually doing, even with tap, Michael Magic Johnson, excuse me. At least we're going to see. That's going to be an interesting one, too. Will they let Ann Peters? Is it going to be tap with Michael Jordan? Or are they going to, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. Is Magic Johnson going to be able to handcuff himself and let the draft experts do their job? That's what we want to know.
We'll see.
He wants Kingsbury. He wants the Kingsbury experience. So don't you? And that's not what Peters and those people. That's not their really expertise is drafting and developing. So that they're kind of in uncharted territory there, I think. But they'll have to, I guess, see if their experience in West Coast systems can pay off in spread concept systems, I guess, over there. But here, it's going to be, I think it's going to be like we've seen every year. I think it's just going to be exactly like every year.
Not deliver.
What's that?
We've already seen it.
Yeah, it's just going to be more Nick Burritos. More Nick Burritos, more Josie Jules, more Turner Yells, more
Justin Simmons.
More Justin Simmons, yeah. Just more of the same.
More of the same.
Maybe they'll get a tight end. We know he likes his tight ends. Sean Payton loves his.
He does. Loves his tight ends. He loves his toys.
Yeah. No interior lineman worth a shit. So don't worry, you won't get the push up the middle. You're guaranteed not to get that. So the quarterbacks will continue to just step up like they always do, and burn that middle like they always do.
Burn the middle with Alex Singleton and Cody Barton.
And then on the right hash there, you got Champ Bailey. So you got your PS3, PS2, or whatever the hell he goes by.
I don't fucking know. He sucks.
Yeah, 75% of the throws are right in his area. So
Yep, getting beat underneath consistently.
Yep, and that's what you're going to see next year too.
Yep,
they'll never address it until they get rid of that front office.
Nope.
And I'm sure that Sean Payton will be gone by that point too. It'll be long.
He'll be gone in a year or two. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Maybe. So let's see. They still have to fire George Payton though.
Yeah, they'll probably be this next off season, and then the year after it'll be Sean.
So let's just really quick talk about how, with this stupid front office that they got and Penner playing GM. Are you going to get another guy to fall on the sword somewhere?
Yeah. Yep.
I find another sword swallower.
Yep.
Yeah, just another sword swallower. Okay.
Yeah, sword swallower. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Get a sword swallower. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these Walmart General fans like to swallow what the Broncos are putting out. So
yeah, a lot of manure. Swallow a lot of manure. All right. Anyway,
that's it for me.
Else for you?
Nope. Just getting ready for the draft.
Yeah, the draft. Can't wait. Yeah. Oh, quarterback. Hype. There's going to be a quarterback competition. Yeah. It's already predetermined, too, I would say.
Lord.
It's predetermined.
Thanks, Craig Penner. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you go.
All right. Kirk out.